Let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we're not just doing some dry textbook recap of history. No, we are looking at a pitch for a full-blown, cinematic masterpiece of a documentary about Nikola Tesla. We're talking absolute top-tier Netflix or National Geographic quality here. Think breathtaking 8K HDR photorealism, deep emotional resonance, and a visual style that pushes the boundaries of what a historical documentary can actually look like. This pitch is designed to bring history's most mysterious and, honestly, probably most misunderstood inventor to life. It's aiming to be just as intellectually powerful as it is visually stunning, really capturing that incredible, gritty atmosphere of late 19th century innovation. So let's explore exactly how this pitch plans to grab an audience and pull this absolute genius right out of the shadows.
Right off the bat, the pitch plunges us into pure darkness. You're sitting there, the screen goes pitch black, and you can't see a thing. But you can feel it. There's this faint, pulsating electrical hum that starts to slowly build, creating this incredible sense of anticipation. And then, bam, a blinding, brilliant blue lightning bolt completely shatters the black screen. It's such a visceral opening. The pitch instantly transitions from that violent, raw energy of untamed nature directly into electricity, flowing systematically through these massive modern transmission towers. We get these rapid, sweeping views of cities lighting up at night, satellites orbiting the Earth, millions of lights glowing across the globe. It's an epic, heart-pounding way to immediately connect the raw power of the natural world to the illuminated, hyper-connected lives that you and I live today.
Now, to actually do justice to a story this massive, the visual style has to be something truly special. The pitch specifically calls for this hyper-detailed, ultra-realistic 8K HDR direction. Picture this for a second. Historic Victorian architecture where the resolution is so high you can see every single speck of dust caught in the cinematic volumetric lighting. You can see every solitary spark jumping off beautifully crafted brass electrical equipment. Using a really deep depth of field, anamorphic lens flares, and just a touch of realistic film grain, the camera uses these slow dolly shots to make the history feel tangibly real. The goal here isn't just to show us the past, but to completely immerse us in an atmosphere that is deeply mysterious and emotional. It treats literally every single frame like a historic painting brought to vivid life.
From that intense opening, the narrative takes us back to Trace's actual journey, starting on July 10, 1856. We're in the small village of Smiljan during a remarkably violent thunderstorm. Rain is just pouring down, lightning is flashing everywhere outside these historical homes, while inside, bathed in this warm cinematic candlelight, a mother holds her newborn son. Talk about a literal stormy beginning, right? From there, the camera jumps forward to his time as a young, intensely curious man at a historic European university. We see him studying late into the night by candlelight, completely surrounded by heavy textbooks and mechanical labs. And then, the timeline brings us to 1884. A massive steamship pulls into a crowded, horse-drawn New York City. Tesla steps off, carrying literally nothing but a small suitcase and this deeply hopeful expression. He is ready to change the world.
So here's a tricky question. How do you visually capture the thought process of a once-in-a-generation genius? The pitch proposes something totally brilliant. Instead of just showing a young Tesla staring blankly at a chalkboard trying to solve a problem, it uses holographic blueprints. Complex machines, electric motors, and scientific equations literally float in the air around him. The camera pushes in for these dramatic, extreme macro shots of rotating gears and intricate mechanical details, all visualized entirely inside his imagination as glowing blue holograms. It's surreal, but it's a highly realistic way to help us understand a crucial fact about Tesla. He didn't really do trial and error. He built, ran, and tested entire, incredibly complex machines perfectly within the confines of his own mind, long before he ever picked up a physical tool.
And of course, you can't tell this story without getting into the gritty industrial war of currents. The pitch sets up the epic cinematic tension between Thomas Edison and Nikola Tesla, using a perfectly balanced split-screen composition. On one side, you've got Edison's laboratory. It's grimy, it's practical, filled with these massive dynamos and sweating workers pushing direct current. On the other side, there's Tesla, demonstrating alternating current amidst these towering, elegant electrical structures. The historical accuracy here is absolutely vital. The pitch insists on capturing the raw atmosphere of two absolute titans battling to electrify the future in their historic labs. It uses dynamic lighting and rack focus to really highlight the stark contrast between how they worked and what they believed.
Things really accelerate as we reach what is arguably the absolute peak of his power, harnessing Niagara Falls.
The documentary envisions these sweeping, bird's-eye drone shots capturing the falls at a breathtaking golden sunrise. We push in close to see colossal hydroelectric generators and gigantic turbines starting to spin with immense force. I mean, this isn't just water falling. This is the taming of nature itself on an unprecedented engineering scale. As the electricity they generate finally begins to flow across miles of wire to light up distant cities, the epic orchestral score and dramatic camera movements make you feel the monumental weight of this triumph. It is the exact moment his vision genuinely illuminates the world. Right at the height of this massive success, the scene shifts to a dark, cavernous scientific laboratory. Sitting right in the center is a massive Tesla coil. Suddenly, with a deafening crack, it unleashes these spectacular, ultra-realistic blue electrical arcs. Electricity physically fills the room in beautiful, highly detailed slow motion. And right in the center of this terrifying storm of blue lightning, there stands Nikola Tesla, perfectly, completely calm. This juxtaposition, the incredibly violent, chaotic energy swirling around his complete, unbothered serenity, is just a masterclass in visual storytelling. It visually cements him not just as an engineer, but almost as a master of the universe's most elemental and dangerous forces.
But he doesn't stop there. His ambition scales up even further with the Wardenclyffe Tower. Here, the cinematic atmosphere turns remarkably dreamlike. We see this massive transmission tower, and cutting-edge visual effects show blue electricity traveling invisibly right through the air. The camera pulls back to a world map illustrating his most breathtaking and ambitious concept of all, transmitting wireless energy and information to the entire globe. Just think about that. A global wireless network for power and data all the way back then. Visualized beautifully on screen, it captures the sheer scale of a dream that was inherently mysterious, incredibly inspiring, and, as we know, perhaps just a full century ahead of its time, which ultimately led to his financial ruin.
And then, the pacing dramatically slows down. Those bright, sparking laboratories fade away, and they're replaced by a melancholic, emotional orchestral score. We observe an older, isolated Tesla out in the falling New York snow, gently feeding a flock of pigeons. The scene then cuts to the inside of a simple, unadorned hotel room. It's cluttered, but only with stacks of scientific notebooks and scattered papers. Through dramatic close-ups and cold cinematic color grading, the pitch effectively conveys a really deep, lingering sense of solitude. It's a beautifully poignant moment, isn't it? It contrasts the massive, world-changing scale of his inventions with the quiet, isolated reality of his final years living alone.
But the documentary pitch is smart. It doesn't just leave us in that lonely hotel room. It builds into this uplifting visual crescendo, showing his enduring legacy. Step 1. We see modern power grids seamlessly illuminating sprawling cities at night. Step 2. The camera sweeps past high-speed trains and sleek electric vehicles moving us across continents. Step 3. We shoot dramatically up into space where high-tech satellites and robotics orbit the Earth. The visual narrative powerfully ties all of these modern marvels directly back to those glowing blue electrical effects we saw in his Victorian lab. It proves, beyond a shadow of a doubt, that absolutely every facet of our modern technological world is fundamentally connected by his original vision.
Which brings us to the final payoff. A hopeful orchestral swell builds up as the modern electrified world we just traveled through slowly fades into a beautifully lit photorealistic portrait of the inventor himself. Then the massive cinematic title card appears on screen, practically commanding your attention. Nikola Tesla, the forgotten genius who changed the world. The music holds its final note, the cinematic volumetric lighting hits its absolute peak, and the documentary solidifies its central, unshakable argument that this single man is the very foundation upon which our entire modern civilization functions, and his name absolutely deserves to be remembered in lights.
As we wrap up this explainer of a truly stunning cinematic pitch, I want to leave you with one final thought. Consider everything we've just discussed, the massive electrical grids, the electric vehicles, literally the very screen you are looking at right now to watch this. What would our modern world actually look like today if not for that heavy thunderstorm in the small village of Smiljan in 1856? Just think about that the next time you look out at the glowing electric lights of your city tonight.